Hey everybody, Frugal Farmer here. This is a model car. I just happened to get this out of a lot I bought at an auction. But the way these things were made, for those of you who may not remember them, if I can get it open with one hand, it was, you had the cars, you had the wheels, you put them all together, and you'd have some glue. Well, I love some model cars. I put many a one together, and I don't think any of them are still around, but I enjoyed putting them together, and the glue you used at the time could actually get you high. And I was putting one together, and I was staying right down there on it because I'd been working on it for a while because it was a certain type car that I liked, and I'd been on it all Friday evening, and I could stay up as late as I wanted on Friday nights. I could stay up all night if I wanted to, unless I had to work that next morning, which I knew I had to go to bed. But my mom would let me stay up, and later on, when my mom had dementia and my sister and I were partnering in her care, I'd stay with her. She got to tell me I needed to be in bed by 9 o'clock, which she was reverting back to when I was a little boy. And one Friday night, she was getting on to me kind of hard that I need to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And we had this board where we had the day wrote on it. I said, Mama, I said, it's Friday night. I said, I can stay up as late as I want on Friday nights. So she went down the room and looked at that board and saw it was Friday night. And she came back in there and told me I could stay up. And she went to bed. But back to the story. I was putting that thing up, and I got laughing and giggling. And finally my mom told me I need to go to bed. And I'd got high off that glue. But I'd put model cars together. I even entered a contest. This department store was going to judge, and I'd put together a Corvette. I loved a Corvette. I always wanted one, eventually owned one, and sold it. It was one of the rough ridingest vehicles I ever owned, but that model Corvette, I carried it, put it in the contest, and went to go pick it up, and it was in pieces. So I said, hey, this isn't how y'all got it. And they said, well, that's not our fault. So, man, I was hot. So who would I call but the chief of police? He's one of my daddy's best friends. Well, I didn't get him at home, but I got his wife. Explained the situation to her, and she told me to call him tomorrow after lunch at work. So I went to bed that night. So I don't know what was said by the chief's wife, but that next day I called his office, and the lady said, I told her who I was. She put me straight through. Didn't ask, any questions, or, I got put straight through to the chief. And he told me, he said, I've talked with him. He said, you go down there. He said, they're going to take care of you. So anyway, I aggravated my mom, got her to carry me to the department store, walked in there and told them who I was, and they got the head manager down there on me. Well, he walked me back there, told me to pick me out 3 models. I picked out 3. I said, I want to need some paint and some brushes. And I don't think the paint and the brushes were going to be part of the deal. But whatever was said, he gave me paint and some brushes too with those model cars. So I walked out with 3 models, a bunch of paint, and some brushes. And years later, my dad told me that the chief went down there and talked to him. And they kind of blew him off, really. Well, he explained to the head manager that he was going to be talking with the fire department on safety code violations, and he'd be letting it go at that. Well, back then, a lot of stuff got done that wasn't through the different channels. So the department manager knew pretty much it was going to be a crap storm at that point. So he told the chief if he could get me down there, he'd make it right with me. And I got some models out the deal and paints and all. And I fixed that Corvette back. And but hadn't put together a model in a long time. I won't put together this one either. I just don't have the patience for them anymore, but I really enjoyed them as a kid. I don't even know if they still make them. If you have to order them or not. I hadn't been down the toy aisle and who knows when. But that was a long time ago. Thanks for stopping by. Come back again when you will. Share, comment, like, hit that subscribe button. God bless.